My name is Hannah, and this is my no-buy year. Do you understand that I live in California and it is so cold inside my apartment right now? I am wearing wool, I am wearing a big wool scarf, I am drinking hot tea, and I am cold. This is not what I signed up for when I moved to Los Angeles. This is not it. In this video, I am going to talk about some things that I wish I'd bought before my no-buy year started. I knew the no-buy year was coming, so I did panic buy a number of things in the last couple of days of 2017. But I didn't think of everything, and I also couldn't afford everything that I thought of that I might want during the year. I thought it might be fun to come on here and kind of let you guys know what the things are that I'm sort of kicking myself for not buying before the beginning of my no-buy year. And I think this will be really interesting actually to come back to this video at the end of 2018 and see if I still want these things. Because that's kind of the idea of the no-buy, right? You want things, but then you don't buy them because you're on a no-buy. And then eventually, presumably, the desire for those things goes away, the same way that it would have if you'd actually bought the things. So there's this question of how much they really would have enriched your life, right, if you had gone ahead and bought them. So I'll be returning to this video at the beginning of 2019 when I am allowed to buy things again, and I'll see if I actually end up going back and buying the things that are on this list. So I'm ready to tell you what I wish I'd bought before I started my no-buy. Let's go. I wish I'd placed an order from the Wet n Wild website. Wet n Wild just released all of these new palettes, new formulations of their old palettes, and these beautiful new palettes. I've sort of been wanting that unicorn highlighter brush that they have, and it's limited edition. I've been curious to try their pressed glitter shadows. I've been to the website a couple of times and I had kind of put a bunch of things in my cart, and then they added up to, you know, $20 or something. Oh, they also had just come out with a cushion foundation. They had come out with this like Lume cushion highlighter, and I like their blushes. I feel like I could have placed a solid maybe $30 order from Wet n Wild right at the end of the year, and then I would have had a number of new things to play with and to show on my channel and to explore, and I wouldn't have been out very much money. And I wish I'd done it. I thought about it, and then I kind of ran out of time. Slightly related, I wish I had purchased a single matte white eyeshadow. That is something that I don't have. In my Marc Jacobs Style Icon eye palette, there's a very, very pale cream shadow that's almost white. And it's kind of a pain to like get out that Marc Jacobs palette, which is big and has like a catch to open it, if I want to set my lid with a very, very pale shadow. So I often end up setting my lid with a darker shadow than I would like. January 2nd, I kind of started looking at my situation, and I realized that that's something that I would have liked to have. But I don't have it, and it's fine. Connected to that, I wish I had purchased just another Z palette, because there are some shadows I'd like to depot, like my Morphe 35O. It would be nice to have an extra magnetic palette so that I'd have freedom to kind of move things around. Maybe a smaller magnetic palette so I could create a small palette to take traveling with me. I only have the two and they're both full. So I don't have the option of depotting this year. It would have been nice to have another Z palette. So I wish I'd picked up one of those. This is a homewares item. I bought these beautiful prints from an Etsy shop. It's a quote from Paul Bowles, the novelist, and it says, how many more times will you watch the full moon rise? Perhaps 20, and yet it all seems limitless. And then there's this beautiful graphic of a moon, a half moon that's also part of a hourglass. Oh yeah. F. Scott Fitzgerald from The Great Gatsby, and it says, "They slipped briskly into an intimacy from which they never recovered." And then look at this incredible graphic. So it's a dress being unzipped, but it's also a martini glass. I am really looking forward to framing this and putting it up in our home. We've been together for 10 years, and we definitely slipped briskly into an intimacy from which we never recovered. I completely overlooked the need for a frame in the weeks leading up to the new year. And so now I won't be able to frame those things until 2019. I wish I had invested in a full-size bottle of perfume. I have a wide array of small bottles of perfume, and I don't have kind of like a big solid go-to bottle that I can just use and use and use and use. I had a sample of the new Glossier fragrance, Glossier You. I don't like the name of the fragrance, and I don't like the shape of the bottle. And I think those are the things that held me back from buying it. But now that my no-buy year has started, I really wish I had it. I wish I had a bottle of that scent. And I might actually ask for it for my birthday. That's how much I wish that I had that. I usually go for warmer, more sexy, spicy, like amber, vanilla type of scent. It does dry down to something warm and comforting, but it's not really a sexy vanilla, which tends to be my go-to. That's part of why I like it on me, because it's different, and it does have that smell of like, you smell really good, but you don't smell sharply of anything specific. You just smell like a human that smells good. That's the smell of it. I think that's what it's intended to smell like, and that is how it performs on me. I like it a lot. I'll obviously be fine without it. I was sort of planning to buy it, and then I just didn't, and now I don't have it. We'll see how I feel about perfume after I've gone through all of my samples and all of my little half bottles and all of my everything. It'll really be interesting to see what happens without the option of buying a brand new bottle. Sunday Riley Good Jeans. I truly wish I had bought a backup bottle of Good Jeans before the start of the no-buy year, because I just ran out, and now I have to use up my bottle of the Ordinary's lactic acid serum before I can repurchase Good Jeans, and it's almost a full bottle, and I think it's going to take a while. So I'm going to be without that holy grail item until I use up this other bottle of this other stuff. And it's okay, and in fact, this is the whole purpose of the no-buy year. I won't have backup stuff going bad in my collection that I spent money on. I meant to do that. I'm putting myself through this on purpose. I chose this path, and I understand why I'm in this predicament. But now that I'm in it, I just wish that I had a backup of Good Jeans. I love that stuff. It's like nectar from the gods. In a similar vein, I wish I had bought a backup of the Drunk Elephant Sukari Baby Facial. And I wish I had bought a backup of the Korres Wild Rose Sleeping Facial. I have a whole bunch of stuff in my collection that I have to get through before I'll be allowed to repurchase either of those things, and I already miss them. So if I had backups, I would be saved from myself for a little bit longer. I did not buy backups, so I did not save myself from myself, and that is that. It's just the way the no-buy cookie crumbles. And something you might not know about me, because I haven't mentioned it yet, is that I am obsessed with houseplants. I have a large collection of houseplants. I counted them up the other day, and I have 35. 35 houseplants, my friends, and yet something I wish I had bought before my no-buy year began is some more houseplants, because I feel like I don't have enough. And this feeling is part of the reason why I'm doing a no-buy year. The feeling that I don't have enough is a big red flag for me at this moment in my journey. Specifically, I wish I had bought more small houseplants, because I go to the plant store. I'll go in there and I will totally lose perspective about how big a plant is, because they have everything in there, from like giant fiddle leaf figs go all the way up to the ceiling, down to the tiniest little pots of succulents. And it's a big warehouse space. So I go in and I'll see like a good looking plant, and I'm like, this is a good size for me. It's beautiful. It's nice and full, and it's healthy, and I'll buy it and take it home. And then it's like huge in my apartment. It's like a huge plant. And so I have a lot of plants that are just a little like bit too big, and several of them live in my sewing studio downtown. There's a lot of sun there. So the biggest ones, I've had to like exile them from the house because there's just nowhere for them to be. I wish I'd been collecting like smaller plants that could fill space in a way that where there's still greenery there, but it's not like a giant plant obscuring all of the light from the window. I have one of my plants right here, actually. A little figgy. This is kind of a little fiddle leaf fig. This is a good sized plant, but it's still big. I mean, this is like a big plant. When I say I wish I'd bought more little plants, I'm talking about like a little, you know, just a little guy. I just don't have anything like that. I only wanted like this, you know. And I have another fiddle leaf fig that's almost, gosh, 4 times this size in the downtown studio, because I just couldn't say no. Yeah, I wish I'd bought some more small plants, but I am wary of the feeling that I don't have enough, because that is false. I do have enough. So I have 2 more makeup items that I wrote down. One is the Cover FX glitter drops. As I've said before, I love glitter, and I especially love like glitter on the body, on the collarbone, on the arms and legs for when I go out dancing tango. And I even love a glitter highlight. I like to just glitter myself up. I used to like dump glitter into my bath water so that when I emerged from the bath, I would be coated in glitter, and then I'd go dancing. And at one point my boyfriend was like, this has to stop. There's glitter everywhere. And he was right. I don't do that anymore. But when I saw the Cover FX glitter drops, I was like, this product was made for me. And I can't remember if maybe they hadn't been released yet before the year began, because I can't remember when they were released, but I regret that either I failed to order them, or it wasn't possible for me to order them before the beginning of my no-buy year, because I want those glitter drops. I want that $44 bottle of liquid glitter to smear all over myself. And I saw so many people anti-hauling that product, which I'm not surprised by, because glitter gets kind of a bad rap. But all these people were like, who would want that? Who would want glitter? And I was like, me, I would want that. I mean, all of these things I can live without, right? Like I'm gonna be fine. That's the whole point of this. I'm fine. And everything from glitter drops to a matte white single shadow to small plants to whatever. Like I have everything that I need. I wouldn't be surprised if I purchased those glitter drops in 2019. And the last thing I have on my list also might not have come out until the beginning of the year, and that's the Makeup Forever Artist shadows. They just reformulated their shadows. You can get like a 2, a 3, a 4, or a 6 pan, I think. And they have it also with face powders. I like the couple of Makeup Forever shadows that I have, and I think their color selection is beautiful. I think the formula is good. And the idea of curating like a little 6-pan go-to palette. If I weren't on a no-buy right now, I would have that business in my Sephora cart, like next to the glitter drops and the like Sunday Riley Good Jeans and the new backup of my Korres Wild Rose Sleeping Facial. So I'm like counting this up in my head. That's like 100, 180, 100, 400, 220. So I would have like $300 of this stuff currently in my Sephora cart if I weren't on a no-buy year. And I'm really glad that I'm not going to be spending that money. These are things that I theoretically wish I had purchased before the beginning of my no-buy year. But do I really, really feel like I'm grieving because I don't have them? No. Making this list and thinking about this list, I'm already learning about myself and the difference, the true difference between what I need and what I want, or what I think I need and what I need. I'm keeping this list and all of the feelings that it brings me, and then all of the thoughts that I have in response to those feelings, I'm kind of holding them out there as an object lesson or as a reminder of why I am doing this no-buy. I hope that it was interesting for you guys too, to hear the things I've thought of so far. If you're doing a no-buy year, and I know some of you are, thank you so much for joining me. Is there anything that you really wish that you'd bought? Leave it down below, let me know. If you're not doing a no-buy year and you have bought any of these things and they're trash, definitely let me know that. Like, I want to know that those Cover FX glitter drops are not all they're cracked up to be. Please tell me that that's true. Please like, please subscribe, please give a thumbs up. That's the same as liking. Please leave a comment. Please share my channel with your friends. And as we settle into this new year, I know that it can be really tempting to sacrifice our own needs for the sake of others. That often seems like the noblest choice, especially for women. We tend to think that we're making the best choice when we sacrifice our self-care for the needs of others, because we're trained to believe that. But whatever you have on your plate this week, I hope that you can set aside some time to take extra good care of yourself, whatever that means to you, because that is what will make you the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.